friends, I'm Diana. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the Granny Square, the Sunburst Granny Square. What's beautiful about Granny Squares is that you can use up your stash. Here's what I've got to work with my yarn stash, and I wanted to make something colorful and bright and fun, and so here we go. Now, if you are new to crochet, I would say this is a beginner intermediate because there are color changes and there is also some stitches that are new. And I will go over those very slowly in this video. If you need to pause at any time, that is totally okay. If you need to rewind, pick it out, or frogging. If you didn't know what that meant, that's the sound that you make by ripping it out. It's ribbit, ribbit. That's frogging. So with the colors, I just chose colors that went well together. What is so cool about granny stitches is that they are super versatile. Today, I'm just going to be talking about how to make the Sunburst Granny Square. If you want to see a video to how to make a purse with granny squares, go ahead and drop me a comment in below. If you're enjoying the content today, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. And remember, always at the end of my videos, there are bloopers because I can't help it. I've got a bloop. Let's get started with the Sunburst Granny Square. What you're going to need for this project is a 5mm hook or an H hook, darning needle, and some scissors, and of course some yarn. I chose these 4 colors because they were in my stash, and I am currently trying to use up my stash, so I was super excited for this project. There's going to be 4 rounds in this Sunburst Granny Square. All right, so we're going to start with the magic ring. I like the magic ring because for me it holds a little bit better than the chaining does. I've had to refix other projects, so this is why I'm going to go with the magic ring. If you're not sure how to do a magic ring, I do have a video for that on my channel. I will put it on the screen so you can click on that and then come back to chain 3. That's going to count as your first double crochet. Then you're going to crochet 15 more double crochet, which will equal 16 in total. So now for the 15 double crochet into your magic ring. 1, 13, 14, and 15. Now it's really important that you have your counts correctly. So what I usually do when I am working on granny squares is I double check to make sure I have the correct number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now that I know that I have 16 double crochets, I'm going to close my magic ring and I will slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 from the first one there. I'm going to slip stitch into there, and then I'm going to fasten off because we're going to change colors. So I'm going to pull that tight, and I pull this tight. I work my ends into the project as I go, so I don't have to do it later because it's not my favorite. I'm just going to work this in 3 different ways. I feel like that works really well. So I go one way, and then I'll go another way, and I'm trying to work in between the fibers. That seems to grab the yarn really well. There's 2, and then a 3rd. I like my scissors to be sharp because I can get really into my yarn without having an end stick out. I'll snip that there. And then I will work this in. So again, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Because we haven't decided what project I'm going to use it for, it's really important to weave in the ends, because if this is a piece of clothing, you don't want it to come undone. Now on to the second round. I'm going to go with this lovely purple color. The next stitch that we're going to do in this granny square is the puff stitch. What I usually do is I will form a slip knot. I wrap it around my finger, grab it with my hook and pull it through. And then you slip stitch it into one of your crocheted stitches there. I'm going to yarn over, stick it in that same spot where I slip stitched in there, grab it from the behind, pull it up. So I have those 3 on there. And I'm going to do that until I get 7 loops on the hook. So I have 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I'll loop it over one more time. So I get 6 stitches or 6 loops on there. And then I'm going to pull through all the way through those loops. And I'm going to chain 1. Oh, we're going to do that again. Yarn over, put it in that stitch, yarn over, pull it up to equal, and we're going to do that 3 more times. And that tail may want to try and get into your project. So if you go back and see, this isn't really that pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we're going to pull that through, and then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to keep doing that around.
So yarn over, put it in your stitch, yarn over, pull it up, create a loop, do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I need to do it one more time. Now I have 7.
Okay, now at the end, what I like to do, because I've had this happen to me before, I will count to make sure that I have 16 puff stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Sometimes I lose count and I'll have more or I'll have less. So now that you've done that, chain 1, you're going to do a slip stitch into the top of that first one that you created, and you're going to slip stitch that and then fasten off, and then we're going to work in the ends. We're going to just create a nice stack of trimmed pieces, which we can use for stuffing if you make amigurumi. We're going to work this end into the back of this puff stitch again 3 times.
3.
And I will snip that. All right, now we're going to work this other one, snip that. Now for the third round, we're going to create a cluster stitch. I'm going to get what I also like to do is to make sure that my slip stitching, where it kind of does that chain 2 looks a little different, that they're not all in the same row as I did before, so it's kind of mixed into pattern. So what I'm going to do is the same thing as before. To add the color, I'm going to do a slip knot and put that on my hook. And then I'm going to work it into that chain 1 space and slip stitch that on to my granny square that I'm making. There we go. And again, pull it tight, make sure it's tight. So I'm going to chain 2, and then that's only for the first one. I'm going to yarn over, put it through that same space, and possibly catch the tail in the back. Yarn over, pull that up, and pull through 2. Do the same thing again. Pull through 2. So now I have 3. I have to do it one more time, so I have 4 of those on my hook. So yarn over, put it through that stitch, yarn over, pull it up, pull through 2. And then I'm going to pull through those 4, and then I'm going to chain 2 and do the same thing into the next stitch. Yarn over, put it in the space, yarn over, pull that up, pull through 2. Yarn over, put it in the space, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, put it in that space, yarn over, and now I have 4. And then I'm going to pull that through, and I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to continue around until I hit the first. So you work at your own pace, and we'll meet back when we are finished. This is the last one. I'm going to finish off just like we did the other ones. 4, pull through, chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into that top stitch right there, and then fasten off. I just love these colors together, our tails into our work. So I really like when there's like, these are easier to hide your stitches into when they come on the puff side of your work. All right, pull that through, and then I'm going to cut that off. Remember, try and grab those fibers. It helps it grip a little bit better. There's the center part of the granny square. Now I'm going to work on the round 4. So we're going to do the very similar thing where we're going to do a new color, and we're going to create a slip knot and put that on a hook. All right, and then we're going to secure it to our work by going into that chain 2 space. So this one looks like my join. So let's go over here to another one over here. We're going to go into that space right there, and we're going to slip stitch it on to the work. And now I'm going to chain 4, and we're going to be creating the square portion of the granny square. Chaining 4 is going to be my first treble crochet. Treble, I'm thinking it's helpful for me to remember treble as 3. I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to do 2 treble crochets. I actually call them triple crochets because that helps my brain to remember. So I'm going to yarn over, and now I'm going to go back into that space, yarn over, pull it up, and now I'm going to go through the first 2, the second 2, and the third 2. Going to do that again. Yarn over, stick it in the space, yarn over, pull that up, pull through the first 2 on the hook, second 2 on the hook, and third 2 on the hook. Okay, you can pull that tail behind out of the way. I'm going to the next space, and I'm going to do 3 double crochet. So yarn over, put it in the space, yarn over, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2. There's my first double crochet. I'm going to do that again. Yarn over, put it through the space, yarn over, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. In my next space, I'm going to do 3 half double crochets. If you have to take this slow or pause the video, that's totally fine. For a half double crochet, I'm going to yarn over, put it in this space, yarn over, pull through all 3. I'm going to do that 2 more times. 2, 3. So you have half of the first side of your granny square. Now, because we are mirroring what's happening on this side, I'm going to do 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to do a triple or a treble crochet. So 1, 2, stick it in the corner, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now this is creating the corner, so I'm going to have to do that 2 more times. 1, 2. Now I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do 3 triple crochets again. 1, 2, 3. All right, I just formed my first edge. So I'm going to do the same around, and I'm going to keep this moving slow so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do my double crochets, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of speed here because you do the same on each side. So my double, now my half double. Now my double. Now my triple. And yes, go 2, 3. And I do count every time I do it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do triple crochet again, or treble. Abbreviation is TR. Now double. You have 3 double crochet. Now for my half double. 1, 2, 3. Now for my double crochet again. 2, 3. 4th corner, but we're going to finish this corner over here in just a minute. So again with the triple. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And yes, you get really quick with your work if you've done this a few 100 times or 1,000 times, whatever it is. Okay, now to my double crochet 3 times. And here we go into our half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and now to the double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Going into the last corner to finish this all off, we're going to do 3 treble crochet. So 1, 2, 3. Now remember, we chained 3, so we have to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to slip stitch into that top chain. Slip stitch right there, and then fasten off and trim that. So granny squares are great because you can use up what you have in your stash. You don't necessarily have to buy anything new, which I really like because I want to use up my stash. So I can buy more yarn, of course. I'm going to work this in 3 times. Here's my finished Sunburst Granny Square. But you can change the colors and create something very beautiful. I hope that you had fun with today's video. It's beautiful and versatile. You can make clothing, you can make bags, you can make blankets, all sorts of things. I would love to see your creations. Please tag me on my Instagram account, Scrappy Warrior Woman. Happy crocheting. There we go.